Most High in Christ. I see him, Maka. I see him. I see you. I gotta go on them Kalashnikov for you, brother. Keltec. Keltec for you, brother. I see you, so there. Most High in Christ. It was going on the bar. You have some shot with that.
Only one in the class today, so here.
Did I read? Yeah, you have some shot with that. What's going on?
What up, sir? How are you?
Not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. What's it?
Right.
I'm talking about.
So you want to this class today, sir? And sure, not big time. Yeah, I want 10 squash in the cup, sir.
Not ready for it then. Not ready for it then. Hey man, listen, man. That brother Shakan looking like a totally different soul. Yeah. Yeah, listen now, if you ain't come right, you're gonna lose your head up.
Gone on cancer.
Most High in Christ.
Yeah.
What you say?
So like I don't know he established that.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I mean straight.
That's
Come on.
that's road.
That's yeah, I mean straight. So it goes. All right. So we're gonna get the questions, some of the questions quick. And of course we're gonna deal with what's her face? Miss Wendy Fitzwilliams. And Miss Universe Fitzwilliams, Miss Black White Supremacist Fitzwilliams, which is one of the worst things it could be in the whole world. It's a Black White Supremacist. You get the point? So let it rock. First off, let me get whatever question. Galawan, you had a question for me? You know what?
In Deuteronomy, where they talk about Deuteronomy chapter 22, from verse 28 to 29, where they talk about if a man finds a damsel and she's single, he has to pay her 50 shekels of silver.
All right, where you at?
I want to know what from 28 to 29.
All right, let's get
If a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give her to the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and shall be his wife.
Okay.
Because he had humbled her. Right.
All right, break it
So
up.
I just want to know what was the it's like if a man finds a woman that's single, right? She doesn't have she's not promised to someone. She's single, she's not engaged to no one, she has no husband, she's single.
Okay, give me a little bit more on the single.
And he lies with her, meaning he.
Hold on, give me a little bit more on the single part. In today's society, how would you explain single in today's society? Because of course, in today's society, every woman single who don't have a wedding ring. Get the point? So how would you? And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that's how it is. I'm saying that, to make the point. So how would you describe single in today's society?
Well, single in today's society is a woman who is not married to someone, meaning a wedding ring or sign a piece of paper, or a woman who just doesn't have a man.
Okay, leave the paper out of it, because paper is not marriage. You get the point?
Right.
A piece of paper is not married. The single today means this sister is not having sex currently with a man or not being pursued by a man to have sex. Meaning some brother is courting his sister present. You get the point? Sometimes you talk to her abroad, she like you, or she like the attention, and you find out, well, you say you have a man? No. You have no man? How come you have no man? Because, if you attracted to her shit, you ain't the only nigga with eyes. You ask her, well, listen, how come you have no husband? How come you have no man? Well, I have some friends. What do you mean friends? Well, I have people I talk to, I go out with. I usually fall back right there. I don't, some brothers like going further. Some brothers like, well, how good a friend? Is like a friend or friend? I just fall all the way back, you know what I mean? I don't really, you get the point. So you really want to establish if any brother is dealing with her. Now, that's just my preference, right? She may have friends who she just, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, we going to the office party or whatever. And she may not be having sex with them. You could find that out if you want to, right? But you don't want now for her to already be talking to her brother. And, he and the brother vibing. The brother's intent is to one day have sex with this woman and make her his. Now, in comes you and just rob this brother of the last 4 or 5 months of his life, or 30 days or whatever. You get the point? Like that ain't brotherly. That ain't the spirits we in. If this brother is already putting in work in, leave it up to him. If it fails, then it fails. You get the point? Even if he's in the world, it's damn near you're more under the burden of being right by him. Because if you don't do it right, you will have the scenario of somebody who is in the world charging you for being wrong with them, which is it's potentially much worse. You get the point? It's more damaging to your reputation and the reputation of your brothers. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead,
But that man in the world, would he be considered as a little child or a little one of these little ones?
No. No. Okay. No, the little ones is the men who follow Christ. Right? So that's it. That's how you establish if she's single or not. All right? Go ahead, Galawan.
Verse 29. Then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days.
Right.
So my question was the 50 shekels of silver. Is that literal 50 shekels of silver? If it is literal, what is the conversion in US dollars or TT dollars today, or is it not that?
Right. It is that's the literal fine you would pay. Right. It's a fine you're paying. This is in a sense, I'm not saying it is exactly is, but this is in a sense breaking the 1 year rule or the 6 month rule. You get the point? Because how would you go about getting her from her father?
To ask her father for permission.
You'd have to go to her father and make your intentions known, and then what?
Make my intentions known, tell her I want to be with her. If he says yes, pay him the money, 50 shekels of silver.
Right. That's why I ask you to break it down. That's not what this is saying. right? That's why I ask you to break it down. And we'll get to the shekels. You just have to look up in the Bible dictionary, shekel. I believe it's right there in there. It'll tell you the conversion to today, right? But of course, even that conversion today would be back then. You get the point? But that's not what this is saying. This is not saying that the dowry for every woman is 50 shekels. Read it one more time. That's why I ask you to break it down so that everybody listening gonna benefit, including yourself. All right?
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 29. Then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father.
No, you have to start in 28. You have to start in 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on
that word is betrothed. Betrothed.
Betrothed.
Right? Go ahead.
Right? And lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found. Then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days.
Right? So what does it say?
It's saying only if the woman, right, is a virgin, which means she's young, she reached that age to marry, a young age to marry, right? And she's not betrothed, she's not promised to anyone.
Or no one is courting her at the moment.
Right? No one is courting her. Then only for that reason you shall pay her father the 50 shekels of silver. Only in that instance.
You're skipping. Read it one more time, Mark. Read it one more time from 28.
28. If a man find a damsel, right, that is a virgin, right, which is not betrothed, right, and lay hold on her. He lay hold on her, I mean, capture her, like, he played a game and he got her there. He got her attention.
He stepped to her. He put on, let me tell you what he do. Brag a little bit, Kim. He put on this bad Hebrew Academy graduate jacket right here. You can read what it says right here. You can read what it says right here. You'll see it. Well, what year that says right there? What year that says right? You'll see that, right? It says Men of War right there. He gonna step forward with this bad Hebrew Academy jacket, and she'll know this brother went through hell and trials and blood, sweat, and tears for months in the snow, in the rain, in the sun, and fought his way to the end, only to be counted as one of these righteous soldiers authorized by Commanding General Yohanna under Christ, under the Most High power, and represents the I.S.U.P.K. Now, if you have one of these jackets, you don't got to say much, brother. You just walk in the room, and this jacket will lay hold on her for itself. I'm telling you, if you're wise, next week Sunday, September 30th, you would begin the mission to get you one of these right here. One of these right here, I call it quiet as it kept. The silent bullet. Don't worry about it. Get one. All right. That was just a little advertisement for the Hebrew Academy. Everybody involved in it. You'll give yourselves a hand. You're gonna finally be counted as one of these righteous men, right? But now you step to the sister and you start spitting game to her. You start talking to her. You start, what's your number? Then of course you start seducing her. You start seducing the sister. You get the point. You calling her at night. Late night calls, good morning text. you know what I mean, show up randomly for take her to lunch, some kind of thing. Because you trying to get in the drawers, right? You lay hold on her. And then one day or one night, she texts you, you up, and before while you pressing send, you putting your jacket on and grabbing the car keys, yes, and you're running over there. Boom, you have sex with her. You lay hold on her. Read 28 again.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her.
Right, you lay hold on her. Meaning now, like how you say, man, I had she in my hand. Or her brother say, I had that in the bag. Some brothers might say, I booked this thing. You get the point? You know, we talk. You lay hold on her, you seduce her, and you lie with her, meaning you go and you marry her. Right? You understand? Right? You go, you marry the sister. Now, in 28, does it say anything about her father?
No.
Right? Go ahead.
In continuing said, and they be found.
And they be found. So now, if they be found, what does that mean?
People caught them marrying each other.
Okay. if somebody catch you, brother, I don't know. I don't even know how that's not in the first place. If somebody catch you, because you're not careful enough. All right, if somebody catch you, but not, you're right, but not literally. Not in most cases, and not in most cases literally. All right, but if it is literally, it will be a different scenario. Just put yourself in the father's shoes. If somebody catch you, you know, half stroking, so like you're not in the room, doing your thing, you catch you on the back swing, right? Somebody catch you on the back swing. You think we talking about money? Nah, what we talking about then? Your life. So it ain't like talking about catching her in the act or catching you in the act rather. But of course that could happen. You get the point? And that is usually how people find out. Because after a while, how Vibes Cartel say it in the song, after the first time she run away, after 2 days she coming back for more over and over. Sooner or later, somebody gonna see the two of you all moving a little bit extra close. Like there's a difference in a time when you with a woman and you courting her and you all just hanging out to the time when you in her. When you in her, brother, she displays that affection differently. And you could see that. You could look at it and be like, he already hitting that. You get the point? They be found. Now you found out. Now ain't no more. No, because at this point you can't greet her like, hey Suzanne, how you doing? It ain't that. You get the point? You can't greet her like that. It's a difference. So now people start finding out you done tear up the man's daughter. Now it's gonna come to him, he gonna step to you. And you have to pay a fine, you're gonna have to be punished for doing that. You get the point? Because you went and took his daughter without his consent, without his permission, which is absolutely unbrotherly. You get the point? It's absolutely unbrotherly. Now, of course, in the world, if you did it, that's no fault of yours. You know no better, and that's the custom of the world. You're in the truth now, and that's how you would do it. Even if it's a sister in the world you're courting, just on the side of respect, you want to find out. You always want to find out up front if she has a father. When I say if she has one, of course she has one, but meaning if she has a relationship with him, if you know they're around each other, if it is that you know if he's not around, who's the father figure? A sister usually has a father figure, whether it's an uncle, a grandfather, older brother, somebody who assumes authority over her. You get the point? Even if she don't have none, let's say she grew up in a house full of women, there must be some teacher, somebody. You get the point? And worst case scenario, there ain't no man around, everybody dead, you go talk to her mother about it. You get the point? You go let her mother know the intention. You just try to win them over in that scenario. Now in here, you're gonna have to come to whoever your camp leader is. You're gonna have to talk to the camp leader. The camp leader will then put your request in to Commandant General Yohanna. And we'll check on the sister side to see if she is already courting somebody. If she's available to court, has she done her time in here to court? And of course, then you all could get permission to even court each other. You all will be spoken to at the same time. And then now you get permission to court each other. Now, even after that, you have to get permission to do certain things with her, to take her out, to go to the movies, dinner, whatever. You have to get permission to have physical contact to a certain extent. You get the point? You want to take things step by step because, of course, this sister belongs to somebody. You get the point? The sister is Commandant General Yohanna's daughter, and you cannot violate her. Yeah, you understand? She has a father, and she has hundreds of brothers. Hundreds. There's no getting away from this shit. You understand? Now, let's say you all mesh, you all gel, you all tight. Of course, there's obvious problems like how normal people would have, but for the most part, you're all ready to marry each other. You have to get permission for that as well. Now, at that stage, you will negotiate with Commandant General Yohanna a fitting dowry for one of his princesses. You understand? Why? Why would you negotiate that dowry?
Slacker, because he's the father to the
That's true. That's true. There's something else. Go ahead. Who's that? Tazwell? Go ahead.
Like I said, I don't know if I'm putting it right, if I've seen it right? But it's a priceless. But in terms of what you value to the father, what you bring to the organization, the camp that she under, right? It should be that the man should give that contribution or what it is that's requested of the person.
All right. You're right. You're right. Your sitas are going to talk them sisters out the drawers in the school. You can put the icing on it. He put the little frilly shade around the side. You know what I mean? He stick the thing and pump the cream in it. That she gonna eat that cake up. Your sitas are he's smooth with them. He's smooth with it without when them words are. I'm gonna give it to you bluntly. I'm gonna give it to you fully blunt. She is property. Get the point? A woman is property. A sister is property. She belongs to somebody. Just like what else is property?
Yeah, so like I said.
Come on.
Your rib, sir.
Your rib is property. That's your property. But give me something else. Who's he? Where the agricultural men? You're supposed. I was expecting y'all to come with it. Just like land. Just like land is property.
That's right.
I'm giving you, and it's so spiritual, even in today's slang, you call your woman your earth, your old earth. You put seed into her, just like you put seed into land. Now, if I have to sell you a piece of land, brother, doesn't the value vary? You have to go to the father. She might be a young thing. She might be young. She might be, ready, ripe. Salaki, right? A young thing. Never knew a man. He could cook. He could clean. He could, skin a chicken. She know how to. She'd been taking care of kids since she was a young girl. She also has little education. So, she could go in Esau Kingdom and work for you. So you getting her is going to fill your pockets. So the father might give you, some digits to pay. You get the point? Now, another daughter might be a little bit older, right? She's not considered a virgin as much because she's not young anymore. She's a little older, still gorgeous, still beautiful, still righteous, obeying the laws of the Lord, but she's unmarried. She would have she may have had a husband before. She may have had none. She may have had kids. She may have had none. She's a little bit older. She may not have, you know, certain skills, but she is still a good sister that needs a husband. You get the point? That dowry might be a little bit different. You understand? That dowry might be a little bit different. You get the point? So you would go negotiate with him, and just in case anybody, I know most people get offended when they hear a woman is property, but it's in the Bible. Give me Ecclesiasticus 25. And ask him also too, for brothers who are a little bit more carnal than others. Property doesn't mean you get to punch her in her face. You get the point? Property doesn't mean you get to, you know, kick her in her back. That doesn't mean that. It just means it belongs to you. Just like your children belong to you. Get the point? Your children belong to you. You don't abuse the hell out of your children. You understand? But you take supreme responsibility over them. And that's how you would be with your woman. In Ecclesiasticus 25. So like a 20, no, hold on. Whoa. You that beginning to wife?
Slap, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
36 and 24, sir.
36. What? Give me 36 and 24.
Okay, Marvin. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Beginneth what?
Beginneth a possession. Slap here.
Read it one more time.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. What is a possession?
Property.
Something you own. You understand? Something you own. A possession. That's why even in Esau's kingdom, the father walks the bride down the aisle and then gives her to you at the end of the aisle. It's symbolic of something. Even in the white man's kingdom, he is property going from one man to another. You get the point? And that's how it is. So now, understanding that, you have to pay a certain price for her because she has certain value. And that instills something in a brother. If you, let's say you, what's a, you know, semi-expensive car in Trinidad right now that most brothers buy?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Something like a BMW.
A BMW, a 3 Series?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right? You get a little 3 Series BMW, right? You get a good price. You get a super good price. But you still pay for it. How would you treat that BMW?
Yes, sir. Like you pay full price for it. Like you pay full price for it.
You know what?
You treat it delicately, so you make sure you take care of it, oil change, shocks, you know? Make sure you
stay up. You stay up on it. You don't abandon it. You don't park it in any old way. You don't let it go with nobody. Somebody asks you to borrow a car. You say, what car? I don't have no car. Get the point? That's yours, and you pay money for it. Get the point? Now, if you did not pay for it, if somebody handed you the keys to a 1998 BMW, how would you treat it?
It's okay, you go run it down, sir.
Say that again, Galwan.
You go running down.
You understand why you have to pay for a man's daughter? Because if you just go into her without, I'll come into your card. If you just go into her without seeing her father and paying something that, okay, he's going to, in the ideal scenario, he is going to give you a price that's going to break you, that's going to put you to your knees. But because you love his daughter so much, you're going to come up with that money because you want her. You get the point? He's going to put a price on you that he's like, yeah, this dude here, he could give me 15,000. Yep. I see you now. Working offshore. If here's your card, you're a big mechanic there for the government. You know what I mean? You could pay that money, no sweat. Tazawa, even Tazawa go hustle. You go, you know Tazawa. Tazawa talk his way in and out of money. Money and get that shit all the way up. Right? I know you. I'm going to give you a price where it's going to be like, man, nah, I'm gonna get that tail. So now you know you paid something for her, which means when she starts to give you a headache, what will you do?
Go
ahead.
I remember how much I paid for and what I went through to get her.
And then what would you do?
I see counsel, sir. I'll be my ass and do it that.
Well, oh, that's true. That's true. There's something else.
I'll go by her father and tell him she acting up.
if it's one of my daughters, I'm gonna ask you to bring a bottle of Johnny Walker just for my time, because you coming to me, and after you tell, I'm gonna we got on what she doing, what's going on, and we gonna be drinking, and I'm gonna hear you out, and I'm gonna hit you one of these. Well, brother, good scotch, by the way. That's your problem now. I hear I know she back talking, no problem. I hear you, she acting up. Well, you know, shit. I ain't complaining about the 15,000. You give me the 15,000, behaving good right here. You see it? It's behaving good right here. Your 15,000 ain't giving no money. It ain't giving no problems. And if it do give problems, I ain't coming to you about it. This is my problem. You better go back. You better go and handle that business. You get the point? Just like if you have an expensive car that you paid, you know, 60, 80,000, 100,000 for. If something is wrong with the car, you are going to get the car fixed. You are going to do what you have to do to fix the problem. Is the same way. It puts more responsibility on your shoulders, because now, if you didn't pay for her and you was just texting her at night and you were carrying her for dinner and lunch and carrying her to the, you know, to the Beres Hammond concert or whoever you're listening to these days, the minute she start giving trouble, what do you do?
Slap, yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead, your car. Let me hear you. Go ahead.
You treat her like a company car.
It's a good thing you're coming to the truth. It's a good thing this bunch here for the sake of the sisters. Good night. But typical Alkaline make a song about it, and he said block and delete. From the time she instant block and delete, and that's what this whole generation is about. I'm a block here, I'm a unfriend here, we done. From the time she started giving trouble, you ignoring the calls, you ain't going around there no more, because this ain't cost you nothing. Get the point? You ain't lose nothing for her. It didn't cost you nothing. So when she started giving trouble, you just like, man, I ain't for all that headache. I don't need all of that. You know what I mean? Or you just say straight up, listen, me and you we not married. We was just kicking it. Right. Me and you we wasn't in nothing. We was just kicking it. Understand, you're not my girl. You said, I see some video of some brother do some broad that, brother, and she nearly had a heart attack. She nearly had a heart attack, brother. You get the point? But now if you pay 15,000 for her, brother, you are going to make sure she act right. You are going to make sure she act right without swinging her jaw, without blacking her eye. You understand? It's a process. Now, this is not this scenario. This scenario we're reading about here is when you go behind the father's back. You go behind the father's back. You know, she realized you were a little bit weak. So one day you came over and she wear extra short shorts, or she wear one of them oversized t-shirt that a waistline fill it out just good enough, brother, that, you know, she get up to walk and you seeing, you know what you see. So she knows she could get it. No, she could get it because you're compromised. Never show a woman that you're compromised. She's going to own you. You get the point? She's going to own you. You go in there, you marry her, blah, 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 blah. Boom, people find out. The father had to step in. Or you go in there, you get the drawers, you think you home free, she goes to her father. She's willing to take the check-in from him because she know he'll step to you. You get the point? Whatever it is, daddy involved now. Daddy involved now, and all her brothers. You get the point? All her brothers involved, Mathkoyak showing up, Shah, Bayat, everybody showing up. You understand? Sawap show up with the tree line, the longest tree line in the world. And what's going on? What's going on here? Yeah. Now it's time to answer. No, so now this is a fine you would pay. You get the point? This is a fine you would pay. So now let's get the now you asking what would this fine be today? Now let's get the Bible dictionary, look up shekel in the Bible dictionary.
And of course, if you don't have the money to pay, would the father be willing to wait 7 years? Like LeBron and them to get the money?
I mean, there's some sisters, brother, that you would agree to your 2 kidneys for. I'm trying to tell you straight up. There's some women that you see and you gonna just be captivated by her and everything she do and say and all her skill, and you will be like, listen, man, I'll give you my 2 kidneys. I don't need that. All right? You have to work that out with her father. You understand? Now, if you don't have the money, you might, anything could happen. Maybe he might be like, well, I'm not giving you to her. You get the point? Maybe he might be like, well, listen, well, what do you have? You understand? You might have to give up that car. You might have to give up something. You get the point? Because, you probably had to have, who have daughters in the room? Anybody in the room have daughters? Anybody who listening? Gabar, you got daughters?
Cada one come.
Gabar, what, okay, let's say a brother come for one of your kids, right? 10, 15 years from now, however old she is now, I don't know, right? And, you tell him what you want, and he don't have it. First to begin, Gabar, as a man, are you trying to give your daughter away?
Nah.
That's it. That's what you have to understand. You got to understand that a father falls in love with his little girl all the way up. And brother, he is like, no matter who comes through that front door, nah, that nigga ain't no good. Shit. No, you're not marrying him. I don't care. That's that's a father. It's just, that's it. But of course, there's gonna come a time when she's gonna have to marry. You're gonna have to get her out the house. But she's gonna start giving you trouble, because there comes a time in a woman's life she needs that man. She needs that thing from her husband. You get the point? That thing that settles her. She needs that, or else she start going crazy, start doing all kind of wild shit. You get the point? So you're gonna have to get her out the house. So you're gonna have to find some middle ground on who you're gonna give her to. Now, when you come with what you want, you testing him, you checking him out, I getting you all the whole game. The fact of the matter is, the father don't want to give you the daughter, right? he gave you a certain price. If you want the girl, you better figure out how you're going to get her. You understand? You better come with something. You better figure the shit out. You better come with something. I'm going to tell you straight up and down what I would do. The first day I see her, I'll start saving. I'll start saving. I'll start trimming off some of the check. I'll start doing some overtime. I'll start putting a value to her in my head that I'm not going to say, and aiming to achieve that by the time I'm ready to ask him for her. You get the point? Don't just court her for 6 months or a year, and then yes, I'm ready to marry. All right, well, XYZ $1,000. Well, I had to wait 2 more years because I don't have that right now. It's simple. You understand? And you already, if I'm her father, you're already showing me that you're void of planning. You're not really thinking this thing through. You get the point? Remember, she is a possession. She's property, like a car. If you go test drive a car, you already know how much you have to go pay for the car, right? Or you have an idea, right? Won't you already have something saved up to put down on the car even? Well, all right then, shit. Start putting aside money now. You thinking about somebody. Start putting aside the money now. Put it in an envelope, put it under your bed, put it on the sole of your shoe, put it somewhere. I don't care. Tuck it under your damn war scarf every day. Every day you get $5 to break it off, you tuck it in here, so. Because at the end of it, you're going to have this wide amount of cash, or you put it in the bank, and you're going to see all them zeros adding up, and then somebody's going to require it from you, and it's going to hurt you, because now you start to look at it like, man, I could pay these bills off. You know, shit, a few more thousand, that's a down payment on a house or a car. Now you got to give it up for her. Brother, you're going to make sure this possession is right, because you don't listen. You're going to be on her. You're going to be dealing with her like a father who just has sex with her. You get the point? You're going to be as strict. You're going to be as compassionate. You're going to have mercy on her when it's time for mercy, when she do something simple and stupid, and you know you could curse her out till infinity. But, you know, understanding she's a sister, you might have some mercy. All right, come on. Don't do that shit again. No problem. You get the point? Or you just lay into her when you need to. You get the point? Because you know you done paid for this. Just like if you had a piece of land that you pay a ton of money for, you're going to keep the land trimmed and cut and taken care of. You get the point? You ain't going to just let it run wild and anybody go in there and squat on the land. Nah, you ain't going to do that. You get the point? So now, if you don't have the money, you should start saving. Start saving for it. Start working. If you're a brother who don't have nothing, it doesn't mean you can't get the sister. But now you'll have to really now go to the father and you have to build a relationship with him. You have to be like, listen, man, you know how it is. I ain't working, but listen, I'm an honorable man. I'm a righteous man. I obey the Lord's laws. I'm in camp. That's why the UPK is so golden, because now I'm in camp every week. So this is a letter of recommendation from my camp leader. You all don't know about it yet. God, I want to tell you all, you get commendations from Commandant General Yohanna, which is his letters of approval for something you did or outstanding work. And they go into your file, right? You might be listening. In my service in the truth, I done amassed over 35 commendations in my short time. I'm a righteous, honorable man. I may not have the means, but I do what's still like. Now, he might say, well, listen, no problem. He might talk to your camp leader. Come transfer over here for me. Lead my camp for the next year. Where I could watch you. You could be under my eye while you court my daughter. You get the point? You might be able to work something out. Who knows? And if you don't have the money, maybe the work you put into his camp and build his school up, he might be like, yeah, this brother here, he's the one. He's the one. You get the point? It's a process, Akim. It's a process. It's a process. It's not, you know, it's not you up. What's the eggplant? It ain't that shit. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. It ain't that shit. No. Get the point? You good? You found it?
Shekels you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Right, shekels are going to they take me some money, right? So this is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. There was no coined money in Israel until after the exile. Right? Before this time, exchange of values took place by bartering, by trading one thing for another without the exchange of money.
Mm-hmm.
This method was followed by the weight system, later by minted coins.
All right.
Wealth is
You don't get any value?
value.
You might have to get the big one. It might be in the big one. I don't have one with me. Let me see if I find it up in an alternate resource. How much 1 shekel would be?
Salaki, sir.
50. Go ahead, Gaba.
I have the big book.
Most
I'll read what's here, but I don't see the actual value that says the shekel. The first metal exchange was crude, often shapeless and heavy. Also approximate the value of the item purchased in actual weight.
Okay. Okay, don't get any value. Hold on, all right? Let me see if I can pull it up online.
Come on.
1 second. Any more questions?
La,
No sweat. Shakan, you too, Mark?
Can I just have it on mute for now because they got some music in the background.
I feel you. Go ahead. Who else was there? Tazawal? Somebody was saying something. Galawan, let me get back to you on the shekels, all right? Because I've seen different things online, and I don't want to take that until I double check it with the general. Big. You with me or no?
I can hear you, sir.
Can, sir.
Okay, they probably stuck.
Yeah, it look like it.
Let me see. Yeah, let me double check it. If it's not any compact and there's no straight up value in the regular size one. Hold on, shekel. Bear with me one. If anybody else have a reference for it, let me know. It might be their mic or their freeze.
It look like it freeze because I've been having problems too.
Okay. Ain't you all expecting a storm or something coming through? Tropical storm Cook or something like that?
Can, sir.
They calling it Captain Cook. you know people is, Israel is. Say Captain on the way.
That's a lot of rain again. Pretty much.
I think right now they say it's a tropical storm.
Can, sir. Look like they came back.
No sweat. Okay, shekel according to the was in give me. I'll probably ask it in class tomorrow. Give you the exact amount.
Right, down.
The exact. Did I say 50 shekels of silver? Or just 50 shekels?
50 shekels of silver in Deuteronomy here.
Okay, look up talent. See what a talent is equal. See what's if there's a monetary value for talent. TALENT. See it yet?
Look it up. It says some authorities say that the talent typically weighed about 75 pounds. Right? In June 2018, international price of gold was about.
Oh no, you don't see talent in the Bible dictionary.
Like I said, not any small one, sir.
Nice.
Big one, as it, sir.
Goodbye. You got some eyes on the phone?
Allah, sir. I have the tridrachma of Corinth, tetradrachma, and then the Greek tridrachma, and that's it.
What does it say? Does it say anything in relation to talent?
Allah, sir.
Okay, give me a day or two at least this week. All right, I'm gonna try to see if I can make the general class. Well, tomorrow is the Feast of Tabernacles. So I may have to ask him on Thursday. I probably would call and find out exactly what it would be. All right. Just bear with me. Of course, I don't want to get you nothing wrong. How much was Judas' fee was how much? It was
Like I said, I think it was 30
pieces of silver.
I think today is silver. I think that was around $400. I remember the general brought it out in a class a couple months ago. That it was around $400 or $600. The 30 pieces of silver was. So maybe we could do a conversion like that to see how much 50 shekels of silver, how much 1 shekel of silver, how much 1 shekel would be in terms of silver versus 50. You get the point?
Answer.
Or we could just wait. You know, it ain't no sweat. I just wait and find out exactly, just so that I don't give you all no wrong info.
Salakia, sir. It says in the Zondervan, it says it required 3,000 shekels to equal 1 talent of silver.
Okay, 3,000 shekels to equal 1 talent of silver. Okay.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
So basically, shekels by weight, then, right?
Yeah, the shekels was a measure of weight.
Okay.
So it's saying 3,000. What does it say, Gabar?
Salakia, 3,000 shekels equal to 1 talent of silver.
3,000 shekels would equal 1 talent of silver. Okay, so 50 shekels. You had to do some maths there. How much the silver was worth today, say Galawan?
I'm stuck at the silver.
Somebody said how much silver was worth today. You know what, Salakia? Let me just give me a day or two, I'll find it out. But you have to do the math. If 3,000 shekels is 1 talent of silver, you're gonna have to change how much the silver would be worth today, or the talent would be worth today, which is what I'm not seeing. But give me a day or so to ask the general about it. Go ahead.
I have some information here from Wikipedia.
Go ahead, quickly.
All right. 1 gram into the silver, 1 gram costs $38. At this price, a talent, which is 33 kilograms, with 1,400,000 $116.
Okay, so you saying one talent is $1 million? And where you get that from?
This is Wikipedia. It says so a 33 kilogram silver talent would be worth $6,500.
Okay, not giving me the weight though. Just give me a couple of days. I'm gonna find out, all right? I'm gonna find it out for sure. I'm gonna find out exactly where to look to prove it. Or if it is, we just had to do the math conversion for it, all right? But it sounds like it'll be a few $1,000s. Right? It sounds like it'll be up in the thousands. You think?
So, like I said,
Go ahead, quick.
you ready for the next question, sir?
Yeah, quickly. And then we're gonna move on to Republic Day and the other stuff.
All right. The question is in Wisdom chapter 1, verse 13 to 16, sir. I'll break down those three verses, sir.
Say it one more time.
The book of the Wisdom of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13 to 16, sir. I'll break down those three verses, sir.
All right, let's get it quickly. And then we on to Wendy. Wendy Traitor Fitzwilliams. I know a lot of people don't know who that is. Wendy Fitzwilliams is a sister. Y'all ain't gonna believe. I went searching for her lineage today so I could blame her as a damn Africa. So I could pray that the Lord punish her. You understand? But of course, she's a sister from Trinidad who was the 1998 Miss Universe winner. If that's where you want to put it, she was the Miss Universe. I believe she was the second woman from Trinidad to ever do it. And she said something absolutely foul this past week or past couple of weeks to a young sister who is patterning herself after this, Miss Universe, quote unquote. All right.
Okay.
All right, let's get it. Go ahead, Tasso.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13. For God neither had he pleasure in the destruction of the living. Verse 14. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were helpful, and there is no poison or of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. Verse 15. For righteousness is immortal. Verse 16. But their works and words fall to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it.
All right. What's he asking?
Break down on it, sir. I to properly explain this, sir.
All right.
I can understand it and then explain.
No sweat. Read it from the top one more time.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13. For God made not death, neither had he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
All right.
Verse 14.
Hold on. Verse by verse. You know what I mean? What is it saying? For the Lord made not death. What is he saying?
So I guess is it that he didn't make man to die or to suffer, but he made meant to live righteously. Then he made men to flourish.
How would men die versus men living?
So I guess that by obeying him we would live, and we would die by disobeying him and going for like dietary law, laws on how to behave morally.
Otherwise known as
commandments.
So breaking them would be known as sin. All right, go ahead.
Right. Verse 40. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were helpful. And there is no reason of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth.
Right? So the Lord created all things, and there's no poison in them. There's no lust to sin in them. The Lord didn't create us with the lust to sin. You get the point? He didn't create us with that lust to sin. He didn't create us with that. You get the point? Go ahead. Or he didn't create us for that. Right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. For righteousness is immortal.
What does that say?
like I said, righteousness will always continue to spring life or to breed life throughout the generation going down because we don't live forever, right, sir? We don't live, we die, we are span like we die, definitely the kingdom to come. We don't live on like live on, live on, live on. We die and we come again, right?
Okay.
Cycle.
It's different. It's how Israelites talk. When a man say, man, damn, you living, what does that mean?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Shakan.
Meaning like he bigging you up, like you're doing good for yourself.
Man, you living good. If somebody say, all around me is death, what does that mean?
It's like the conditions they're living in, you know, it drastic, it dread, it just dreary, it pulling you down, it heavy vibes, nothing good.
Nothing good like what?
You ain't flourishing, you know, you ain't living good then. You know, you're broke, you have problems, you know, you have bills to pay, somebody want to kill you.
That's true, but that's not death. Death is, you know, death is, somebody's going to say something?
Is it like that, sir?
Uh-huh.
Is it like poverty and hard times?
Poverty is one, hard times, yeah, but a little bit more extreme. Death is, you know, black on black violence. Death is police brutality. Death is AIDS and HIV. Death is cancer. Death is the drug epidemic. You know, severe things that cause death. Get the point? The wages of sin is death. We all die, but when we describe our life as full of death, we ain't talking about living till 98 years old in health and strength and then dying and you sleep on your bed. That's life. You understand? Death is at 24, you have a funeral. At 16, you have a funeral. Get the point? Death is some sister walking around knowing she done killed 3 babies. And when you try to talk to her, she angry and you don't know why she angry and you ready to launch out on her and say, you bitch, you effer, you mother this, whatever. You don't understand. She's just messed up in her head because she's just living in death. You get what I'm saying? Death is the case. But righteousness is immortal, meaning you don't get killed for obeying the Lord. You don't get punished for obeying the Lord. You get to live. You understand?
Okay.
All right, keep going.
Verse 15. Verse 16. But ungodly men with their works and words fall to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it.
All right, what are we talking about?
It's like it's the man or woman who refuse to obey the Most High. This is the consequence that they have in it, because they rather delight in sin and wickedness. So they end up being the covenant with it. You know, they join up with it then. So everything that comes in their way in terms of the punishment, they deserve it then, because this is what they wanted as opposed to righteousness.
You understand? That's what you're talking about, right? But when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed it. They consumed to naught. Meaning what? They just lap it up until there's no more. You get it? Let's think about a drug addict. Drug addict get high until he overdose. A man who loves whores will have sex with whores until he get AIDS. Until there's no more. A homosexual, he or she will be a homosexual until they get AIDS and there's no more. You understand? They lap it up until they consume to naught. They consume it till there's no more. Just living for today and just whatever else. You get the point? Right? They made a covenant with it because they are worthy to take part in it. The wages of sin is death. They made a covenant with death because they are worthy of death through their works. You get the point? But the Lord did not make us to die. He wanted us to live. He wants us to obey him and live. You get the point? He didn't make us to die. You understand? Good?
Yes, sir. The water, sir.
No sweat. All right, cool. All right. Boom. So now tomorrow is September 24th, right? What is significant about September 24th for Trinidad?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, who with me? So,
Republic Day, sir.
all right, Republic Day. Tell us about Republic Day, so whatever you know.
Well, tomorrow will be 42 years since the Trinidad and Tobago became a republic.
All right.
They became a republic in 1976.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
The Republic Day also marks the so-called leaving at the Queen and the Governor General and the people being able to elect their own leaders.
Exactly. All right. Anybody else want to add anything to that?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
It was the first day when they had the first parliamentary meeting as a government.
As a separate government. Well, of course, now we know quote unquote separate. All right. So go ahead.
Under the new constitution.
Under the new constitution, which would be their own constitution, or what we was led to believe was our own constitution, right? Right? Pretty. That's pretty much about it. Anybody else? We pretty much good right there. All right, no sweat. So now, 1962, Trinidad and Tobago gained what?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Independence. So-called independence from Britain, from the United Kingdom, right? Who was the Governor General, or who was the Chief Minister at that time? At that time was Eric Williams. Right? Eric Williams. Eric Williams. Go ahead.
Was he in 1962 or this 1976 you're talking about? Eric Williams?
No, 62. He was in charge from 62. He was actually in charge from before that. I don't know if you all remember the little history we went into with the Labour Party with Butler. Butler Labour, the Butler Labour movement. Remember, Butler rose to power after the whole Labour riots. People favored Butler. Right? Remember, the history shows that people favored Butler. And Butler was able to mobilize the workforce in a way that could cripple the government or cripple the British control of the government. Remember?
Right.
After they kind of squashed the movement, they of course instituted the union. I forget the name of the party. I forget the name of the party that Butler had, and Butler was trying to run for election. They did not allow Butler to run for election. Instead, they made sure that a guy called Albert Gomez, or Albert Gomes, right? Albert Gomes, he was the one who was the chief minister, I believe, in 1950, right? He won the elections. Butler's party was the British Empire Citizens and Workers Home Rule Party, right? Big old long name, but this was a party that, you know, was on the after the momentum of the union riots, the trade union riots, and the you know, the workers' riots. That's where your unions come from. Of course, we know, of course, the white man, he doesn't like that type of thing. He made sure Butler did not win and become the chief minister. They made sure and put a state person in there, which was Gomes, right? Gomes ruled from 1950 all the way up until 56. Excuse me, right? He ruled from there up until 56. You had, in 1956, you had Eric Williams coming in. All right? In 1956 is where you had the emergence of what you have today as the PNM, the People's National Movement. The PNM, they opposed Reginald Capildeo of the Democratic Labour Party and Ashford Sutherland, right, who later found the West Indian National Party. Right, they tried to dominate politics until 1986. But of course, the PNM won every election from 1956 until 1981, right? Williams became prime minister at independence. So now you have a kind of succession of quote-unquote planted leaders. You have Gomes from 1950 to 56. And then you have Eric Williams coming in around that time. And of course, independence was 1962, where Trinidad and Tobago was allowed a certain amount of autonomy from Britain, but at the same time still had to report to Britain, still under British Constitution. And of course, the officials would have to be approved by Britain, right? It was a loose democracy, for want of a better explanation. 62 to 76, Trinidad operated as an independent state, some level of democracy. Then in 76, Trinidad became a republic. They declared themselves a republic, or they would sell it as we declared ourselves a republic, but really it's Britain handing over a certain more power, I would say. Britain handing over more power to Trinidad after a certain amount of time where you show that, okay, we're going to be good Negroes. You get the point? That's the whole rundown of it. Now, of course, you're gonna have the little nuances of what happened here and what happened there, right? You had remember we went into the whole Black Power movement, right? With the whole coup that came around in 69 and 70. Right, they had a whole ton of strikes, a whole ton of protesting. They arrested 15 Black Power leaders. All right, from using the Trinidad and Tobago Army. It was led by Rafik Shah. I believe he's still into politics now. Rafik Shah and Rex Lascelles. All right, took them hostages at the Tetron barracks. All these things led up into momentum for more control of the country. You get me? For more control of the country. In addition to this, you had in 1973, you had the Arab-Israeli War, which led to, oil prices becoming unstable, right? Right, oil prices starting to go up and down, up and down. Boom, 1976, Trinidad got status of being a republic. A republic, okay, a republic and a democracy is similar. All right, it's damn near the same, depending on which side of the coin you're on. Go ahead, who had hand up, Tazawal?
Yes, sir. So, like this, sir. So, could I state it, or am I looking at it the right way if I said that in 1976, when Trinidad became a republic, between the year 1962 and 76 is when they had an opportunity to get a good foothold, which is Britain now establishing like the Privy Council, they run it the same way with the influence of these things that they left here as well.
Say that
over us then.
I ain't hearing you too well. You're going a little too fast. Between 1962 and when?
Well, I guess, and I'd be correct to say, or am I looking at it the right way to say that between the 1962 period when they rose up the same Albert booms, right, and they had enough time, a good foothold between that time to make sure that the Privy Council that they left for us then was a governing body, but they make sure that they have a good foothold between the British and the East Indians that they left here to watch over us then, and the whole in terms of the PNM. That time would be a correct statement to say that.
It's you on it. Gomes was before 62 though. Gomes was a thing from 1950 to 56. I think Eric Williams came in 56, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I think he came in 56 to take over as chief minister, and of course in 62 when they so-called gave us independence, they made Eric Williams the prime minister, right? But what you're saying after that is correct, where that still had a high commission. Like before that, Eric Williams was not Eric Williams. Before that, all the way from the 20s all the way up to the 50s, you had people who would sit on something called a legislative council, right? A legislative council, it would be made up of officials in Trinidad who would go par in par with deciding whatever laws, or really they would be the ones to carry whatever Britain decide back to the people and smooth it all the way out and smooth it over. You get the point? Now after that, you had the chief minister. After that, that's when you have the High Commission. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like I said, yeah, up until 56, governors who governed the country at that time to represent Britain, having the prime ministership, right? Could we say it was more of a name change than anything else in terms of the name prime minister? Britain still having control, but it was like a transition period to see if they can change the face of ruling the country.
It's basically that. It's basically occupying a place and then moving out, but being able to rule from afar. So now you go from legislative council to chief minister to prime minister. You still have the High Commission, the British High Commission, right there. I think the High Commission still is in Trinidad, but it's more for social ties versus straight up and down political ties. You get the point? Because of course Trinidad is more American than anything else, even though the rules and the laws is British, which is damn near like the whole Caribbean, right? Damn near like the whole Caribbean. There's certain islands that have more British influence today, like Barbados, I believe St. Lucia, British Virgin Islands. You see how the British Virgin Islands versus US Virgin Islands. You get the point? Some places have more British influence and control, but of course, ultimately, it's more America. You understand? So now, with independence, you have the democracy where they allow the public to start voting for the elected officials, voting for whoever. All right. That's the premise, meaning that's what it's supposed to be, but it's not really that. With a republic, the difference with a republic is that the general public still votes, but you elect representatives. That's how you have your local representatives, right? Or the House of Representatives. So you have your member of parliament or your representative for Laventille East, Laventille West, Point, Labre, you get the point? So that's the main difference with it. It's still some sort of democracy, but of course, it's stages in control or the right to choose for the people. People have a certain amount of rights to choose. So now with the republic, you would elect one, like a union, like how a union operates. You have your union representative, and you take your grievances to him. And of course, his job is to establish a relationship between the prime minister or the body of the government so that he could get things done for his constituents. You get the point? So that's the premise of a republic. It gives voter control, additional voter control, versus something like a monarchy, where control is hereditary, meaning your son coming on the throne next. You get the point? You know, you rule, then your son rule, or your brother rule. You understand? It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different on that section. And republics, you know, it started long ago. It started even with Rome. At one time, you know, Rome was a succession of rulership with Caesars. And after the wars, now Rome became a republic when it started, you know, having the voting and all that all that type of stuff. You understand? It's a transition of governmental control, because after a while, people will rebel against a monarchy where one man leading for 50 years. You get the point? People start to rebel against that. It happened with the French Revolution. People started to rebel against it because that's just the natural way of things. Because of course, when one person is in charge, when unchecked, you have the room for what? Corruption. Get the point? You have the room for corruption. And if there's no checks and balances, eventually the people will get frustrated and they will rebel against that power seat. So now, in order to have a certain amount of control or pseudo control over the people, it's control over the people, but to give them a false sense of they in control of who runs the country, you turn them into a republic. You turn them in, you give them democracy, independence, you turn them into a republic. But really, the people who will rule is people who are safe and would not break the status quo. But it's done in stages. That's why you had the Legislative Council, the Chief Minister, the Prime Minister, and independence. Then 12 years later, you had a republic, where you have a Prime Minister now, and you have a President, and you have a House of Representatives, and your local representatives, all that coming down. So really what it is, it's just a packaged mark of the beast. It's just a packaged white supremacy that we inherited over the years. You got the point? Go ahead. Who's that? Your card?
Yes, like I said.
Go ahead.
I see that upgrade of slavery.
That's what it is. You still a modern slave, which is why it's so kind of falling the right time, where you have Republic Day coming up, how much 40-something years celebrating it, whatever. And then you have Wendy Fitzwilliams, who made the statement she made. All right. So now, let me see if I could get the tape. See if I get the tape of the broad. 1 second. Right. So that's just a brief history on the whole, republic. Right. Why we became a republic. It was more hands off. It was more, okay, they trained, they know how this thing should run for a certain amount of time. And if you notice, Gomes to Eric Williams, to the end of Eric Williams' tenure, we talking about 1950 to 1981. That's 31 years of, conditioning. You get the point? That's 31 years of being conditioned and being trained up on how to run this plantation that the white man giving you rulership over. Because why? In 31 years, a child born in 1950 is now an adult who can function in this government. In 31 years, a child who was 10 years old is now 41. A child who was 50 or 20 is now 50-something. That person has been conditioned, so now you could function in this government and perpetuate white supremacy. You understand? Perpetuate the whole system of white supremacy, which is needed to keep your plantations or your colonies in order. You understand? That's your slave chain. That's now your shackles. Your shackles, your chain, your yokes is really white supremacy. You get the point? No. After in 1976, you had 1977. Based on the topic tonight, what is important about 1977? Anybody know?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Don't know, sir, but they can shot at it, sir. Is it a Black Power movement, sir? Anything to do with that?
Well, the Black Power movement, the whole spirit of it started in 1969, 1970. Right? 1969, 1970. Somebody pull up Janelle. Go ahead, goodbye.
It's the Miss Universe.
Yes,
pageant.
Goodbye is like, hold up, wait. All right, somebody look up Penny Cummins Young Chaw or Janelle Penny Cummins Young. Whoever have it, read what you have about it.
Janelle Penny Cummins Young. Miss Universe 1970.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Janelle Penny Cummins Young is a Trinidadian politician, model, and beauty queen. She migrated to the United States at the age of 13 and returned to Trinidad and Tobago 10 years later. After winning the Miss Trinidad and Tobago title, she went on to be crowned Miss Universe 1977 in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic.
All right. Now, I know everybody loves Penny. Everybody take, and this is the problem we have with being such a depressed people. When you're so depressed as we are, and oppressed and poor, anything that looks like success to us is a win for us all. So it's a touchy subject. Now, this is a sister that, for most intents and purposes, is Trinidadian by birth, but we're talking about she spent more than half her life in a foreign country. You understand? Left Trinidad at 10, went to America, came back at 23, won the Miss Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Why? Because she grew up in white supremacy. She understands the whole thing about white supremacy. She knows she is a better representative than somebody from, Belmont, their whole life. You get what I'm saying? So now this is the beginning of, this is what you're supposed to be like. This is the type of person we want. In addition to that, Janelle Penny Cummins Young, whatever her name is, Chow, she was the first black woman to win Miss Universe. Ever. Ever. Before her, there was all Lily White. Even the so-called Hispanic country, most of them don't send Taino in there. If they do, very rarely does she get all the way up. Most of the time, they send some devil who look and speak like one of them. You get the point? This girl, Penny, she was the first out straight up and down black person to ever be crowned, which is why it was such a shocker. But this happened 1 year after Trinidad became a republic from Britain. You get the point? Now let me see. Hold on.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Is this what you call under the umbrella of COINTELPRO? And they stick people in for that type of?
Okay, I'll have to get a little bit more proof to make that type of allegation. I wouldn't say that definitely here. I need some more proof, some more CIA files, some more tying in. I ain't trying to make it conspiracy theory, but I'm trying to show you a historical pattern that leads up to what Wendy Fitzwilliam said. You understand? Based on the whole thing of white supremacy that descended from quote-unquote independence to a republic, to 1 year later being the first Miss Universe, then to striving and aspiring to be white. To be white is right, to be straight here, to be clean fit, to be shaped up, that whole aspiration. It's training, it's years of training. It's like training a dog. You understand? If you let a dog come in your house, you leave food on the table, what would an untrained dog do? He'll eat the food. He'll eat all your food. A trained dog will just sit there and salivate at the mouth and not touch anything. You get the point? To achieve that, it's time and time of reinforcement. White man have something in psychology called positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is when you do something good and you get praise for it. You get rewarded for it. Negative reinforcement is, of course, you do something and you get punished. It's to discourage a certain type of behavior. You get the point? Even if that behavior is right, we make an example out of you. So now it's reinforced in your head. Don't do this anymore. Get the point? It's a good example of negative reinforcement. You understand? Don't do this no more. So now, okay. Everybody check the screen. This is footage of, I believe, when in 1977, when this broad won. Hold on. First, let me show the other one. I think the other one is better to show. All right, the other one might be better to show first. You're there with me? All right. Those of you who ain't never seen it before, right? The woman in the middle is Wendy Fitzwilliam. Fitzwilliam, she goes from Trinidad. On Miss Universe, everybody puts a microphone on mute. Everybody who listens, just put your mics on mute. All right. She won the Miss Universe in 1998. She was the second Trinidadian to win it. Put your mics on mute. All right. So now she's hosting something like America's Next Top Model, but the Caribbean version. And of course, side by side, on her right and on her left, is two flaming faggots. All right, one is the super effeminate one, and then on the right-hand side here, you have the more passive, not passive one, the more accepted one where he looked normal, but that's a sodomite. That's a straight up and down sodomite. And this one here, you could tell, this bright blue, and his legs crossed just like a damn female. So now this week, Wendy damn near ostracized a sister for wanting to have her hair natural. All right? So y'all check it out.
Well, hello. My dear, before we get into your photograph, this is also the week of the makeover. Darling,
And you see how she talking? Even that is, brother, that it crawls my blood so goddamn much. Like that old, you know, anybody in your room from down in the West, that something about the West corner of Trinidad is they have a about that. I don't know what the fuck it is. But they have that Diego Martin accent. It's you know, my shit don't stink. I pitch champagne type of accent, you know. It's something about that. But it's a thought, it's something that you're taught growing up to make white people accept you more. You get the point?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I was thinking one time I was saying, what do you think this is? This is more of a
right. Like it's the whole once again, it's the whole air of this side is white and we not like you niggas over there. You get the point? That's the whole air of it. So now this girl on the screen is a young sister. She's probably about 19 or 20. And she, of course, wants to be Trinidad's next top model, right? Anybody know anything about this modeling? It's run by homosexuals. And of course, if you're a millionaire businessman, you can have sex with these models for the right price. All right? You go to any modeling show, talk to any sister who's into modeling. Backstage, they get fully naked. Go change your clothes, get full out naked. Some brothers think they're slick. They go try to be models so they can see the broads naked. So now this girl, she wants to be part of that culture, all right? She wants to be part of that homosexual culture, which is really what it is. It's a homosexual culture because all your designers are faggots. All of them. Gucci, Tom Ford, Calvin Klein. What's the bag? There's a bag. There's a bag. Them woman like
Versace?
Say again?
Coach.
Okay, Coach is a company, but this one is a name I'm talking about.
Oh.
Go ahead, Doc.
Michael Kors.
Michael Kors. That nigga is a sodomite. He's a old faggot, Doc. Old faggot. He's young. He's probably about 60 and he have a 20-something or 30-something-year-old husband. The whole industry is run by sodomites. Somebody said Versace. Gianni Versace, I believe he committed suicide like about 15 years ago, but he's a known faggot. All right, I think it's his daughter that runs Versace now, Donatella Versace, I believe her name is. All right, they're all sodomites, and of course, sodomites. What do you know about sodomites and women?
So after his best friends.
That's what it appears to be. That's what it appears to be. It appears like they're best friends. Go ahead.
They're extremely jealous and violent.
That's it. The second one first. First of all, sodomites are extremely violent. Extremely violent. Secondly, sodomites hate women. They want to be women. That's why they are quote unquote best friends with women. Because they want to stay close to learn the game. They want to stay close to know how to be a woman. And then they start hating the woman because in a sodomite's mind, they can be much better than her. They could be a better woman than she is. You understand? That's why, just a sidebar, when a man becomes a tranny or transsexual, does he take a we call this thing? Does he take the sex change to become, you know, a library assistant type of woman? Does he take the sex change to become, you know, a regular looking woman? What does he take the sex change to become?
Salakia.
Go ahead, Gabar.
He takes the sex change to become the
I'm gonna help you. Exactly, to become a slut. To become a slut, because that's the spirit of a whore. The spirit of a whore is a masculine spirit, and of course, that's him saying, "I could do this job better than you." You get the point? So you like the sisters today. Y'all find the UPK quickly because what is passed as today's style is really a drag queen. You're really looking like RuPaul. You get the point? That's why Beyonce and that girl from Orange is the New Black, they could pass for sisters if you never knew that was a man. You get the point? The style of woman today, you are a drag queen following after a drag queen. That whole fierce, Sasha Fierce, all this fierce thing, you're just a drag queen. You just you have a man spirit to be a slut, because that's what a faggot really is. So now, we're back with it now, right? This the person who won, somebody was gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out how we just get to know the difference between a drag queen and a real woman. Just by watching them now, how we just get to know. Well, this is our sister.
God, why you could have text me that question, Alex?
Boy.
I don't know. Ask me, listen, I asked for some baby pictures. Ask for some baby pictures. I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how. All right, we're going off track for a little bit. I'm gonna explain to you how. The first way, you know how? Don't go after whores. Get the point? Don't go. Make sure you don't go after whores. Make sure you ain't going after that thing with the breast out and the tattoo on the small of the back. I'm sorry for you all right now, Akim. Salaki. I ain't shooting outside this pool no more. See this pool called the UPK? I'll put my target on somebody back in here. But brother, outside of this, I don't know what the hell you are. You get the point? Don't chase after horse, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. You get the point? How you tell the difference? Get a sister in school. Get a sister in school, brother. Outside, you're just short. You're just absolutely short. I'm telling you straight up and down. There was a time you could just, tell the difference. But now with technology, the hormone treatment, brother, you got to pay close attention to that neck, the hands, the chest look different, the breasts look unnatural, the knees be different, the damn foot. If you see she in a high heel about this long, brother, a woman that big. A woman, her foot just ain't that big. You get the point? Just ain't that big. You get the point? Some things you could do, but me personally, I wait for her to do her time in here. I'll do it, even if it's some broad I meet somewhere outside. I might meet a broad on a slave, in a club somewhere. I put her through the net. I'm not the type to say, nah, you don't have to go to class. I'm a teacher myself. Nah, I ain't doing that. Yeah, come to class, no problem. I'm gonna see how she's doing. And then if in 6 months the vibe's still there, I'll put in a request. But I ain't going outside of this for nothing. Come on, Shakan.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, if you meet a woman in the wall and then you get to come to class, but say you done had sex with her already, would that be
okay? Okay, well, that would be your woman,
right?
Yeah, that would be your woman. But no, okay, we're going off a little bit. Right, I'm gonna come back to the topic. That would be your woman, but don't go have sex with her to try to block her to keep her for you, and then bring her to the class. You get the point?
Cancer.
Just because I understand how it is to be a young man. I know how this thing go. I know them 90 days. Them 90 days be rough times. Your beard growing out. You're wearing the all black. You're getting more militant. Your spirit more militant. You ain't as you're a little bit less Usher. You're a little bit less R. Kelly. You ain't so suave. Before the truth, you're letting her say what the hell she want. After the truth, you go out with her. She says some old slap dumb shit. You looking at her like, what the hell are you talking about? Nah, that's not how we go. And you get into a full-on argument. And she's like, why are you so intense? You ain't even realize your spirit just gets stronger. Just get stronger. Don't try to block her for yourself. Tell her about the class. If she comes, she comes. If she don't come, leave it alone. Don't try to block her for you, because after she knows the truth, her spirit is going to be different. You don't know if that's the woman the Lord wants for you. Get the point?
Sir.
All right. So now let's just rewind before we get derailed. All right. Don't go get no trannies out. This is not the IUIC. All right. That should be number one. How to avoid them? Don't put on a purple shirt. That's number one. All right. So now, okay. So now we're going into what's her face said, right? Wendy Fitzwilliams. Right. And stay off the goddamn internet. They're on the internet sending you every friend request in the history of the earth. Every friend request, you know. So and so sent you a friend request. I declined them all. All right. Anyway, so this is the sister. This young sister here, she was the Caribbean Next Top model. You see her hair is kind of still halfway natural. It's just blown out and pressed.
What was all of that at my salon? I need you to explain to me why you were so unbelievably naughty and unprofessional.
Right? So now, Wendy, who of course, because of her Miss Universe, you know, titles, this sister came to, you know, compete for whatever pageant, right? So of course, Miss Fitzwilliam is, you know, stepping to her because of her attitude in some salon back wherever they was doing their hair and preparing them for competition. So now they're about to show you what happened with a young girl, all right? And this is what happened.
Please do not relax my hair, because I've had it relaxed for 15 years. And
brother, Salah, I'm pulling Ranka. This is a beautiful daughter here. This is this sister is bad. You see her hair? Ton of hair. You get a good handful of that. That shit ain't no lace front. That shit ain't no lace front. That's straight up and down here. She is saying, please do not relax my hair. Don't put no chemicals in my hair. All right?
The brand is about embracing your natural beauty and empowerment of Black people. I'm okay with texturizing my hair as long as my curls stay intact. You need to understand that my hair is my identity. People seek me out just because of my hair. So when you tamper with my hair, you're tampering with my brand. And they say that it needs to be relaxed. I will have to eliminate myself. I'm sorry, I can't do the chemicals. I really can't. Like I literally rather leave today because I don't do the chemicals. I'll put the chemicals in my hair and stay. Like, I'm really, really sorry, but I need to put myself down. Through me growing out my natural hair, I started to love myself more. Like, I started to accept myself more.
Stop. You hear what she said, right? She damn near had a conniption on when she said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. You see how she was shaking her head left and right, just shaking her head? That is, you know, that's classic, like, stress. Somebody who's stressed out. You understand? Like, that's, you know, that's the display of trauma. That's why some people shake. You ever around some people, they're always shaking, their foot shaking. That's how they control a stressful situation. You understand? Some people might pop gum, it's not true. And no, I'm not saying everybody that shake does it. I'm not saying everybody that chews the gum does it. But everybody have a way they cope with their stress. But what she just did there is a classic, don't do this to me type stress. You understand? This kind of, she's uncomfortable, she's shaking her head, she can't even believe it. It's damn near, it's offending her. No, what she said was, when I started growing my hair out, I started to love myself. But before she said she had her hair straight for 15 years, which means for those 15 years, who was she trying to look like?
So like I said,
go ahead.
Like the Dollies and them, Barbie, white woman.
Trying to look like Barbie. She's trying to look like a white woman. And in her trying to look like a white woman, how does she feel about her own self?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
Like she's like she lost her own identity.
What she said there, she said when she grew her hair natural again, she started to love herself.
Right.
So before, how did she feel about herself?
She hated herself.
She hated herself. You understand? Brother, that is white supremacy. That is the mark of the beast. That is straight up and down white supremacy. And it's something to different degrees we all struggle with. But especially women with that hair and that appearance, it has to be white as possible. They have to have that white wafy look. You know what a waif is? W-A-I-F. A waif is another word for painfully skinny. So like them white women who does model, you could see all the rib cage and the bumps in the spinal cord in the back. And the white man, that shit is just so beautiful. A black man look at her is like, nigga, I'm gonna break this bitch in half. Excuse my language. She gonna break under me. I can't do nothing with that. Because that's his idea of beauty. He wants his woman to look like a little boy, like a little teenage boy. But me and you, brother, you know, I ain't drinking all this Guinness for no broomstick. You get the point? You know what I mean? This peanut packing for no broomstick. You get the point? Now, this is not down in somebody. A sister might have a naturally slim build. That's how you are naturally. What I'm talking about is you hurting and harming yourself to meet his standard. If that's how you are naturally, that's how you are naturally. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about you starving yourself, you're burning your hair off, you're doing the bleaching cream. You'll see how much bleaching take over in the Caribbean where everybody just bleaching themselves out. Vibes Cartel, Alkaline. Alkaline now stop the bleaching. He start looking more like my complexion. You get the point?
No, cancer.
It's all white supremacy. Now, we talking about the same year of Black Panther. You remember how Black Panther take over Trinidad? Everybody was Wakanda forever. Everybody. Wakanda this, Wakanda that. Going to watch Wakanda in the with the dashiki on and all that shit, right? So now this sister here, she losing her mind because they about to straighten her goddamn hair. And she's like, hell no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Now let's go back.
Yes, sir.
Come on with it.
Just before, sir, that to me look the same thing as the raping sister. And probably did happen.
So what? Listen, so what? Listen, I'm going there. Hold on, Tazo. I'm going there. I know them shades you're seeing way into the future with that shit. Hold on with me. Hold on. Because that's what the hell it is. I'm going to tell you straight up. That's what the hell it is. It's spiritually violating a person. You understand? It's spiritually violating her. And it's I'm not going to say that they actually did it because I ain't got no proof, but it's in the same spirit of that.
Damn right.
Right? And you'll see it. All right, let's go.
I could have been like words here, fella, but with natural hair, I'd be so truly fine with it. This is really ridiculous.
You understand? Come on, why she had to go through that? She just said, let me see if you don't hear it.
Really fine with it. This is myself here. Try could have given me like words here, fella, but with natural hair, I'd be so truly fine with it. This is really ridiculous.
She said, y'all could have given me the worst hairstyle with my natural hair and I'll be fine with it. Meaning I'm willing to let myself be ugly just so you don't touch me. And then she said, but you all don't understand, this is way bigger than that. Tazo, I get the same vibe you get of this is a predatory white supremacist, you gonna do what I say when I say type of society. You understand? And it's glorified and it's intertwined with what we have today as, or what we would look at today as success. So now you have to pick between violating your physical body or your spirit in order to be successful. Now you understand the whole Me Too movement. With so much women coming out 30 years later and talking about this one locked the door, Harvey Weinstein locked the door and did this to me and did that to me, but they ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying nothing. Why? Because they want to be successful. Let's keep going.
Yes, I must apologize to you, judges. Previously, I had my hair straight for 15 years. When I made the transition, I started to love myself more.
Now, y'all see the little subliminal thing.
My hair
First, to begin, she apologized to them, which is, brother, okay, somebody who is not an Israelite will never understand that. You get the point? You tell them, apologize for what? They bleach blonde hair for what? This is my hair. I'm not doing that. But us, brother, we have to apologize for how we look, which is ridiculous. But that's white supremacy. You understand? So she apologized to the judges, and just as she apologized, look at who they showed.
15 years. When I make
See? Yeah. You understand? Now to this girl here, to her left and to her right are two sisters, obviously. This one here to the right, with the little pink vest on, half her head is shaved. She have a little buzz cut. I ain't see what the other one look like, but they're showing you what they want. They're flashing it. They're flashing it there at the right time to subliminally show you this is the idea of beauty. You get the point?
the transition, I started to...
And if you notice, she's still in the back. You see it?
Yeah.
Even though they focus on the sister, the image of the real beauty is in the back here.
Love myself more because we live in a world where the media tells us that we need to have the straight hair to be accepted.
I hear you.
Right? So she's trying to fight white supremacy. And this is for every sister. And every sister who here in this class, if you're not in the UPK, you need to come in here. You cannot fight white supremacy on your own. It's impossible. It's impossible. You know why? White supremacy is not an individual thing. It's not an individual thing. That's why you could meet white people and you become friends with them. And then you say, no, not every white person is like that. This one is a good one. Yeah, he good because white supremacy is not an individual thing. It's systematic. It's a nationwide thing. You want to fight blacks? You want to fight white supremacy? You must become a black supremacist. You must. You must become a black supremacist. That sister should have go in there with a shield on, with a shield pendant, a shield earrings, with her hair looking fly as shit, and telling this damn lanky ass dumb broad named Wendy Fitzwilliams, listen, I ain't straightening my hair for you, for this faggot on the left and this faggot on the right. You know why? Because the white man is the goddamn devil. After 400 years, I'm supposed to be that I want to make the goddamn hair. Put them on my husband, you know the hell he like. I'm not trying to be like you. I'm not trying to make white men like you. I'm not trying to make white men like me. What the hell is wrong with you? But of course, this sister, she ain't bred the right way. Sisters in here, brother, they are bred right. They bred the right way. Some of them sisters will tell you it straight up to your face. The others will come and express it to their husbands in the way that will activate him. And he'll take it up. So now she explained to her, she trying to keep her here because the media is all about white supremacy and the media values a certain look on women. This is what this Miss Universe woman said.
I accept what you're saying. I have also transitioned, like so many of them.
She said, I have also transitioned. Who else uses the word transition? Huh?
Like yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Transsexuals, transvestites, the transformers, the Optimus Prime and Megatron. She said, yes, I also transition. Meaning, I done did what I had to do. That's its code word. What you ought to understand here. Now, I've seen some people say, well, this could be fake. The whole thing was fake. Brother, even if it is fake, there are young girls looking at this who want to be admired, who want to feel that they're beautiful, that they could look in the mirror and the reflection is an image of beauty. And they are going to see this and they're going to burn their hair off. They're going to see this and buy bleaching cream. They're going to see this and starve themselves. And they are going to put in their minds that they must be willing to do anything for success, which is how you breed whores. You understand?
Recently, and I understand your position.
Now you look at Wendy. This piece of horse here. This is not Wendy's here. This is horse here. That thing on top there is Wendy's here. Wendy hair don't grow. Wendy don't have as much hair as this girl. I'm telling you straight up. I saw it before, Salaki. I saw it before. I went to a couple all-inclusives when she was still popping and hot. Her hair ain't that long. Right? So she talking about she transitioned. She's jealous of this young girl. She is fully jealous of this young girl's strength and this young girl's ability to grow her hair. But because she done grew weak and sold herself to this white man, she has developed animosity, malice to the girl, and she's about to show it.
That perspective. However, as a young up-and-coming model, as a young up-and-coming attorney facing judges, or as a young up-and-coming model.
You see, okay, and you see the girl's body language. She's really trying to receive what this woman is about to say. When she should be looking at her like, bitch, you get it, you know what I mean? But she looking at her, she nodding her head like, okay, this woman is about to give me advice. It's programming your youth to be so receptive to what they perceive as knowledgeable, to what they perceive as what's wealthy, to what they perceive as success. So she started tying this girl's achievement. Like apparently this girl is, I don't know, going to law school. Wendy Fitzwilliam was also a lawyer before going to law school. Now this girl is trying to pattern herself after Wendy Fitzwilliam.
As a young up-and-coming attorney,
you see how she put her head?
Up-and-coming attorney.
She prop her chest out. Like, this is a proud-ass bitch. Excuse my language. Proud and disgusting as could be. Up-and-coming attorney. Like, what the hell does attorneys do for black people? Nothing. This weekend, they raid the Beetham, and arrest how much people? 37? What is the attorneys doing about that? What is the attorneys doing about all the brutality them brothers in prison facing? What is the attorneys doing about all the police that kidnapping people in the police car in Trinidad? Nothing. What the hell are you proud about? Where's you sticking out your chest and attorneys with your old fake accent? And let me tell you something now, Akim. You make sure, brother, you do not grow up brown nose in the white man. Don't put that spirit in yourself. Don't put that spirit in your woman and your children.
That's right.
Don't do that shit at all, brother. At all. You meet him where he's supposed to be met. You go for an interview, keep your hair and your braids and your beard. You put on whatever blazer you had to put on or whatever and go in there and give him the thing. You get the point? If you had to dress in the business attire, that's fine. But to say you're going to shave your face off and mark and straighten your hair, for what? What? For what purpose?
Facing judges or senior counsel, as a young, upcoming, any professional, you have to be what?
Now you see it again. She said, if you're facing judges or senior counsel, this had nothing to do with the modeling now. She preparing her for a life of serving white people. So she said, when you in anything, you have to be what?
Professional, you have to be what?
She said, hold on.
As a young, upcoming, any professional,
any professional, and they cut back to the white girl. You understand? They cut back to the white girl. I know some people will be like, "How you know she white?" I'm from Trinidad. This is a white girl. I'm telling you straight up. This girl here is a white girl. She's not a sister. This is a Syrian or some white girl. So one of them different color, like Cassie. You all know Cassie Ban? That's that little white boy, different color than them people from down in the West. They ain't black, right? So now this is professional. A white woman with a skinny dog chain around her neck. That's professional.
Professional. Shutting down my salon.
You see, this is the girl who's on the left. See how her face, how her, her head shaved and all that shit. Her features strong. She looks straight out of Wakanda. But this sister, the white man would prefer this look than to have a black woman who is about to be a lawyer with a full head of hair, bearing the hair as a statement. To him, that takes it back to pre-Republic Day, pre-Independence Day, with Buzz Butler and the Union riots and the whole Black Power movement. It takes it back to that because now you have educated people you cannot control versus this look, which is halfway like a man. So he already knows this type of woman is not a threat. You understand?
When there's so many other young women to get done and to look fabulous as well, is a loud non-starter.
Yes, look how she's talking down to the beat. Like this is a loud non-starter. Let me tell you something. The scriptures say what is highly esteemed in this world is an abomination to the Lord. Yes, an abomination to the Lord. And that Wendy Fitzwilliam and these two faggots on her left and her right, they are abomination to the Lord for what they did to this young girl here.
That's the kind of thing in the real world that gets you dismissed.
Right? In the real world, that's the kind of thing that gets you dismissed immediately. So now you put it in this young girl's head that she better do what? Play ball or get out. Play ball or get out. So now when she go for the modeling contract and the person who financing the modeling show says he wants to see her naked, what is she supposed to do?
Play ball.
Because Wendy done took her spirit from her, and you'll see they took the spirit from this girl. They crushed her. I damn near feel sorry for her, but not quite.
So that can happen again. Okay? It's not I want to do the hairstyle. Yeah, two choices. Either they do it or they go back home.
Listen, the first time I watched the tape, I wasn't even looking at the screen. And I couldn't believe this was a man. I couldn't believe it. And this is who you giving your daughters to be prepared to be pretty? A sodomite who don't know the first thing to do with a woman?
Again. Okay? It's not I want to do the hairstyle. Yeah, two choices. Either they do it or they go back home. There's no more.
Either they do it or they go back home. There's no more. Now, if you're doing that with her hair, what you're going to do when, you want to put her in the see-through jeans and the see-through top? What you going to do like what they do Rihanna? When Rihanna got a certain age, they had her butt naked. Butt naked. For some awards. She went to collect I think it was the Vogue Awards for most fashionable person for the year. And she wore an entire see-through dress with nothing on underneath and went up there for an award. That's what you're preparing yourself for because that's white supremacy. And the whole thing to the Me Too movement and, Bill Cosby raped me and Harvey Weinstein this, and it's from a culture of being complicit. You understand? It's from a culture of being complicit, which you cannot be being around the white man. You're going to have to be able to say the white man is the devil, and I will not do that. Damn you, damn your money, and damn your career. I will not do that. So, of course, the sister here, she lost her spirit. Y'all see what's going on.
Wow. Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I look just like Wendy. That's a good photograph. You are a very attractive young woman. But I want to see that attractiveness reflected in the attitude moving forward. Yeah? Thank you, Gabby.
No. No, the photograph they put up of her is not a photograph of her being a lawyer in front of a judge. It's not a photograph of her with the straightened hair, you know, being in a professional. And that's what Wendy said. You must be professional. It's not a photograph of her, you know, being a surgeon. It's a photograph of her with her legs spread open like, yeah, nigga, come get some.
Come in.
Come in. Come in.
Come in, yeah.
But a photograph of her just, you know, which is what the homosexuals who run the whole model industry will promote. So, of course, they done broke the sister, straighten her goddamn hair. All right? She give up the whole spirit of it. And now there's an uproar because everybody wants to know how it is that, you know, why would Wendy do this to her? I'm going to tell you why. Because the white man is the devil. The white man means the devil, the Bible speaks of. And he will always prepare our daughters for rape and our sons too. And our sons. You go look up Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would tell you he was raped and molested as a young man. Sugar Ray Leonard, boxer. Sugar Ray Leonard was raped by his trainers when he was training for Olympics. It's to destroy blacks and Hispanics. It's to let you know that, nigga, you better let me do to your body whatever I say to do, or else you will not be successful. You understand? Casual?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You don't notice the before and after shot. Before when the sister had the straight, when she had the natural hair, her face looked more dark, and looked more lively. And right after, you were looking like a corpse. But she face looked like that.
She don't have no spirit no more. She don't got no spirit no more because now you done violated her spiritually. That's why what you said was so on point, where it's like it's damn near rape. I think General Q is online too. General Q, type it in. It's damn near rape, which it is what it is. It's you. Okay, even if they ain't put hands on her this time, brother, if she give in over her hair, you know. Okay, let me tell you what could happen to this. The worst thing that could happen to this girl here is that she actually wins the competition. That's the worst thing that could happen to her. I pray she loses. I pray she loses. And I pray she loses to a white girl with straight hair. So she would go to bed crying. And she would go to bed knowing that even though that I trim it my ways, give me that. Give me Jeremiah 2:33. Even though I gave them what they want, it still wasn't good enough. God damn this. I'm going back to my natural hair. You understand? I'm going back to my natural hair. Because listen, if she wins out and she moves on to the next stage, what will they force her to do then? No, you know what the argument would be now? The argument ain't going to be you're an up-and-coming professional. The argument is going to be, listen, you're already Miss Trinidad. You could go, you know how far you could go? You could become Miss Universe. You gonna let this stop you? Taking your clothes off? Listen, we don't care. You know, take it off. Look, all the girls are doing it. Meanwhile, it's some big-time actor or movie producer that done paid some designer big money to make sure you are in a room by yourself with your clothes off. You understand? I'm not lying. Somebody had their hand up?
Like I said,
Go ahead.
Even better, a white girl with K Rose, you know, they do that now. A white girl, she hair flat up and parting and beachy backside.
For sure. They could do that, brother. But what will hurt her is if it's somebody who is lighter and whiter with straighter hair. It will hurt her because she tried to be that person. tried to be that person under the counsel of somebody else, and it did not work.
Right.
It did not work. Who have my scripture?
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Right? Why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? You understand? Why would you do that? Why would you trim your ways to seek love? Why would you go straighten your hair so that Wendy could tell you, now Wendy could tell you you're beautiful? You understand? Which is why you must train your children to despise white supremacy. It's embedded. It's embedded in you. You must train your children to feel proud in their nation, no matter the condition of their nation. Because that's what they would do to us. They would say, you proud of what? You proud of the Beatum? You proud of Sealots? You proud of Point Library? You proud of that? Nah, yeah, nigga, I'm proud of that shit. I'm all the way proud of that. That's where righteous black people come from. Because as far as I could see, all the thieves, all the rapists, all the money launderers, all the drug dealers, and all the whores come from the higher levels of society. Down here, get the Lord of Hannah, damn right. But down here, muddy and grimy, that's where you find righteousness. You understand? Let me give you another video. This is an actor who, I believe she's a heathen. Everybody thinks she's black. I believe she's a heathen. She's British. She acts in a ton of movies, right? She is telling what happened to her in Hollywood.
I found when I was a 16-year-old, fresh from boarding school, going out into, on the casting couch, I was definitely objectified to an extreme. And when I
was it the way you made you feel? You were made to feel, or the way you were treated?
The way I was made to feel, the way I was exploited, and the kinds of roles and the kinds of things I was expected to do in auditions. I mean, there was one horrific incident where I went back for a second audition. It was a screen test. There were two other people in the room, the director, who I'd seen previously, and the casting director, who was a woman. And the director asked me to sit with my legs apart. The camera was right between, positioned where I could see up my skirt, to put my leg over the arm of the chair, and before I started my dialogue, think about the character that I was supposed to be having the dialogue with, and how it felt to be made love to by this person. And I was thinking, this is so strange. Why would I need to do that? But this is the director. He is talking. There's the casting director.
It must be normal.
It must be normal.
You understand? And she's saying this happened to her when she was 16. And this ain't this is, you're seeing the corner here. That's CNN. This ain't some other alternative news house. This is she telling you what actually happens at that level.
I'm 18 years old, and I'm thinking this is obviously something that I was in a protected, there were boundaries. And 3 years later, I was at the Cannes Film Festival. We bumped into my husband and I bumped into this rather drunk producer, a British producer, who said, who mentioned the director that I had this audition with, and he looked very sheepish. And my husband grabbed him later and said, why did you start to say that? And I didn't. And it turned out that the director who went on to make the film and who I was auditioning for used to show that video late at night to interested parties at his house. A video of me touching myself with a camera up my
skirt. So you were abused, but at the time it didn't feel like
And
it.
that was in a professional environment.
Oh, there's that word.
So many people who were trying to...
There's that word, Akim. That's in a professional environment. The only professional environment on planet Earth is in the Israelite school of UPK. You understand? Where it's free of emotions, where it's free of feelings. You understand? Free of your lusts. This is the only professional environment. There's that word again, professional. This is all white supremacy. Imagine now this tape is going around of her doing God knows what with her hands on camera because she thinks she's going to get an acting job. You understand? She definitely turned out to be one of them big actors. But at the same time, brother, think of what else she did. She didn't say she didn't do it. She did it. She just thought it was, weird. But think of what else she did. Now I'm wondering, what did Penny do to become the first black woman to be Miss Universe? Now I'm wondering. Now Penny, if you all don't know, Penny was a little bit more light-skinned. Wendy Fitzwilliams is dark. She's a dark-skinned woman. What did Wendy do to be, that dark and win? It was a total shocker. And y'all know who was overseeing Miss Universe. Who was overseeing Miss Universe for maybe the last 20 years?
So like I said.
Come on.
Yeah, Donald Trump said.
Donald grabbed them by the PU. You understand?
Oh, God.
It's white supremacy. And this sister should have not buckled under pressure. She should have not trimmed her waist to seek love. She should have stormed out of there and she would have been better for it. Because I'm going to tell you something else white people like. White people like a good rebel. America is a country built on rebellion. She would have walked out of there and said, nah, this is my hair. I'm not cutting it. I'm not straightening it. Either you'll accept me as I am for my beauty as I am, or y'all just go ahead and be hypocrite. She could have blazed on them. And guess what would have happened? Some movie house, some movie producer, some magazine that's looking for women with hair like that would have come and signed her. How do I know? Look at this broad here, bro. Look at this broad here. In the meantime, pull for me Proverbs 3 and 31.
Okay. Hello, then, I'm sir.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Read it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. You straighten your hair, you choosing to be like the oppressor, you envying him. That's why she said she hated herself. Self-hatred is, one of the chief ingredients to white supremacy. Now, they're making this girl get rid of her natural hair because it's professional. Meanwhile, this African, y'all know who this is, right?
Okay.
Wakandian.
Wakanda forever. Right? This African who cannot grow hair. Look at her.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Yeah, yo.
Look at her here looking like a little nigga playing basketball.
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at her here. This is 12 years a slave. This is Wakanda forever. Ain't nobody telling her straighten her hair.
Can't, sure.
Which is why it's even more slap in the face, the agenda. You understand? It's more slap in the face, the agenda they're trying to push on our people. It's more slap in the face. They have more respect for these Africans and these East Indians and whoever else than they do have for us. That sister failed her test. She failed. I ain't feeling sorry for her. She failed. Because if it was somebody was compromising her to take her clothes off, she would have, for the sake of being a star. And then 40 years later, when she can't live with herself no more, when the alcohol and the pills not helping, now she'd have come out and say, yeah, Wendy was complicit when they made me take my clothes off. Now, you understand? This is why there's a law in the Bible. If a man force himself on a woman, if she does not scream out, he must scream out. You must resist. You must fight. There's a certain amount of responsibility placed on the quote-unquote victim. You understand? It must have that. you make sure you raise your children up to fight against white supremacy and to never ever bow to some filthy, disgusting sellout like Wendy Fitzwilliams, sitting alongside two straight up rod blowers, blowing the skin off of every rod they could find. And I must change my ways for you. Why won't you change your ways for the Lord? Why won't you change your ways to serve the Lord, to obey God's laws? Nah, you want me to become, you know, a bed wench in training. It's disgusting, and it shouldn't be upheld. When Wendy Fitzwilliams lost all credibility and all stripes, it should be with everybody, not just me. All right, not good to go. All right, I believe that's about it. Good. With that, we pass the class over to Priest and Officer Galloway.
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, 3, verse 8 to 10. Hebrew, and is pronounced Shara. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not whatsoever amount you would like to give. Okay? Upcoming Holy Convocation. That is Monday.
The Feast of Tabernacles, that's tomorrow at sundown.
Okay. Alright, remind Akiam and Aquathium to check on social media, UK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like pants, or scarf.
All right, one more thing there before you all roll. Let me just show you all this picture right here. This is ridiculous. Y'all see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You seeing it? Check out your... Hold on. Ooh wee. Wee. Wendy, you got some explaining to do. You got some explaining to do, woman. Why are you so close to grab them by the PSSY? Huh? I'm Donald Trump. I'm Donald Trump. Yes. I'm a celebrity, you know. You got to be professional. Come see me after. Come see me after.
What you basically?
Yeah, his face says it all out. His face says it all, Salak, yeah. I ain't giving her no pass on this one. He gets no pass on this. I'm looking for a picture of her husband. I can't even find this shit. I know he from Jamaica, but I ain't sure if he's a brother. You know what I mean? I ain't sure. I ain't totally sure because I ain't never seen the dude. But if he white, I ain't gonna be surprised. You understand? All right. That was a good guy one.
I imagine rise and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamayam, Kwadash, Aya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Baharat, Kawa, Aya, Washmaya, Natanawa, Latam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kawabwas Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawas Yanawa, Kawaha, Kabayanawa, Banasayawan, Habal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Wahasaparat, La Aiwalamian. Amen.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna say the half the power prayer group. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Baba Koshah, Sanlanawa, Haka, Larapa, Kalmakala, Wakal Madawa, Haka, Lataha, Kamatazarayam, Haka, Lahapayam, Hamatyam, Haka, Arafakwas, Atamala, Lagarashan, Mahashim, Yahweh Shai, Tawaraman.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you.
So be it.
We're going to see the blessings of the power structure. Barakataya Hawa. Waya Hawa Shai. Wama Yakala. Wa Ala Hayam. Ha Tazabaya. Alawak Yahana. Ha Alawak Yam. Asaranyam. Apatazayan Yam. Haka Yayalyam. Wa Haka Was Yam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
Waraman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless
you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And
Yahushai.
And Michael.
And
Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
And the General Yohanna.
And
the General Yohanna.
The generals.
The general.
The generals.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
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 In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
So be it.
Pray for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven.
King of heaven.
And all things living.
No things living.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And death to the heathen.
That speak against us.
And speak
And
against,
speak against us.
Thy prophets.
My prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
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 The princes.
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 The priests.
Priests.
Israelite brothers.
Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the
And the school.
And evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
The punishment
and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And death to the
And death to the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The buckets of the rich of Israel.
The buckets of
the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse
to give to school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils
and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And
punishment and destruction.
And death to the Edomites.
And death
to the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their
drug dealers.
The court system.
The court
system.
The prison system.
The prison
system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia. Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Asikomatazi.
Asikomatazi.
Gay movement.
Gay movement.
Lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space programs.
Space programs.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airways.
Cable access channels.
Cable access channels.
And the radio channels.
And the
radio channels.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift death.
And
bring swift death.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Or try to stop us.
Or try to stop us.
From broadcasting your words.
Broadcasting your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And destroy.
And destroy.
Cause the terrorists.
Cause the terrorists.
To come against America.
Come against America.
And destroy them in their strongholds.
And destroy
them in their strongholds.
Let America shake.
Let America shake.
At the hands of the terrorists.
the hands of the terrorists.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying saucers.
And kill all the heathen.
Kill all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word. As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy words.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
That is the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, we're going to say the blessed Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Maranatha. Wa Yasharala.
Wa Yasharala.
Wa Yasharala.
Wa Bayat.
Wa Bayat.
Aya.
Sapariam.
Sapariam.
Ariam.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa.
Rapa.
Magan.
Magan.
Pagan.
Pagan.
Tazawa Yahweh. Ayash Kabawa.
Ayash Kabawa.
Tazawa Yahweh.
Tazawa Yahweh.
Yakazaka Allah.
Yakazaka Allah.
Lahab.
Lahab.
Isaiah family.
Isaiah family.
Iden family.
Iden family.
Sister Kawana.
Sister Kawana.
All of Israel struggling to come to the truth.
All of Israel struggling to come to the truth.
Further.
The Shika.
The Shika.
Hoopa.
Hoopa.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Commanding General Yahanna.
All the generals, captains, officers, and troopers, all the sisters in I.S.U.P.K,
all the sisters in I.S.U.P.K,
Khalid, Zuri, Zara.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Generals, captains,
officers,
troopers, sisters. All the brothers and sisters fighting.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come to I.S.U.P.K.
Kaylee,
Zayden,
Andrew,
and Tisha.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Captains, officers, troopers, children. God's be family. And they come into the truth. On this Israel. Israel. And they have mercy upon them, and hopefully they come into the truth. Commanding General Yahanna. Generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters. Correct. Janice, Osel, Kinti, and family.
All the brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K.
All the brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K. Francois family.
Daniela, Wesleyan,
Darius. All the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
All the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
All the brothers fighting to come into the I.S.U.P.K.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the
I.S.U.P.K.
family.
Go to family.
All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the I.S.U.P.K. Imam.
All Israel and four corners of the earth.
All Israel and four corners of the earth.
All Israel. Risa, Nicholas, Nathan, Daniel, Pixie, Tasha, Elizabeth, Martin.
Gabah.
Khan Khan.
Yeah,
brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
Brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
Commander General Yahanna. All the captains. All the generals. All the captains. All the officers.
all the officers,
all the troopers,
all the troopers,
all the sisters,
all the sisters,
Yapasha Yara,
Pasha, Rabba,
Labah,
Labba,
Wesley,
Wesley
Senior,
Senior,
David, Zion, Quinn, Dwara.
Shakan.
Khan.
Anybody?
All the sisters, all the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
All the brothers
and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
The generals,
the
captains,
captains,
the officers, the troopers, and the sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
The sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right, Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Tawara, man. Next time you get the sisters in, all right?
Right.
Don't forget. Find out if they have anybody you want to pray for.
All
right, let's go.
In the English, what you just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect the loved one. In the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. All right, Israel, let's give the teacher one courtesy salute. I Majam Shabbat. Barak.
I Madiam,
right? Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakathum.
Yajamata, Sa. Let's give the sisters a one to see salute. I Majam Shabbat. I Majam. Barak.
Hashem Yahushai.
Yajamata. Francis Smith.
All right, okay. Well, I'll see you next week. All right, goodbye. To water again. Yabashim Shabbat.
Most High in Christ. Yabashim Shabbat Brakathum. Yabashim Shabbat Brakathum.
All right, Shakan. You link up, give me up. All right.